Whenever I do a weird maps video, I normally try and keep it to one map or give the video a theme. But for some maps, they're so strange and unique they don't really fit anywhere, and they're not really large enough for their own videos. So today I'll be looking at a few smaller maps that I want to talk about, but probably won't get an opportunity to talk about anywhere else. Whoa! That's whoa with 6 A's at the end. It's an objectiveless map consisting of a giant spinning cube. Each face of the cube has combined textures from Half-Life 2 on the side, aside from this wall here with a skybox texture of a barn, probably from 2 Fort. Inside the cube are a few unbreakable boxes. Sometimes you might clip outside the box, in which case you'll just fall to your death. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the author of this map. Getting stuff to rotate is surprisingly hard in the TF2 branch of the Source engine. Rotating entities don't work properly when compiled for TF2, and they'll make a player rotate but not themselves. There is a workaround for this involving a button entity and logic trickery, but most of the rotating entities in TF2 will be custom made models animated to rotate. Okay, little side note here, I made this video before the latest TF2 update that fixed funked rotating entities. I made a video about it here. Sorry about the mic quality in that video, I wasn't recording using my regular setup. Whoa gets around this by using a physics box entity tied to a physics motor. An interesting solution. To run this map properly, you need to enter in the console command SV allow point server command always. This command allows the map to send console commands to a server, or if you're playing offline your own computer. It disables a command called SV Turbo Physics, which allows for more accurate physics. Also, if you're interested in hosting the map on a server, you have to download a plugin that adds in a camera or it will crash on launch. King of the Hill Falling is a map by Nipper. You might know Nipper from his Counter-Strike maps, but he's also made maps for other Source engine games, including Team Fortress 2. Falling is pretty straightforward. Or maybe downward would be the better thing to say, because this map consists of 4 gigantic teleporters that you fall into endlessly. At the beginning of the round, players can walk around on this glass floor that shatters shortly at the start of the round. Players then fall endlessly until they're either killed or land on the capture zone at the bottom. Along the way down there's a few ramps that knock you in the middle section with a capture point. I see there's this generator looking thing in the middle of the map at the top, but I'm not too sure what it does. When the round's over, it just makes this big shower of sparks. I played around a bit with bots to see if it would do anything, but as far as I can tell it just makes a bunch of sparks when a team wins. This must be a newer version of the map since there's a carrier from Man vs Machine in the skybox, and I remember playing this map before MVN was released. Maybe my memory's been a bit weird, but I don't remember seeing it here. Doesn't matter really. Half the fun of this map is just watching players fall endlessly. Slide Faces to Death by Groundsnake is an obstacle course where you automatically push forwards and have to avoid and navigate around a series of hazards. I'll be honest, I gave up and enabled God mode to get through this one. It's an interesting proof of concept, but I've played this map a few times online and unless you got a really good connection with really low ping, it's pretty much impossible. On a side note, Quake had a series of maps called Slide Maps. These were the precursors to Surf Maps in Counter-Strike, which eventually made their way to TF2. I seem to mention Quake a lot on this channel, don't I? Convoy by Jerain is a symmetrical capture the flag map, inspired by an assault map from Unreal Tournament with the same name. Although inspired, these maps play completely differently from each other. The map consists of 2 giant trucks carrying rockets, racing each other against an endless valley. Within the cockpit of each map is the intelligence for capture. In my opinion, this map still holds up pretty well. I doubt the creator could see the existence of flying pyros being a thing 10 years down the track, but if you try and jump the gap between the 2 trucks, you'll get blown away. Like most captured flag maps though, the capture point is Sentry Heaven, so you'll need to be coordinated to get in and get out. The valley effect is done by using moving textures in a 3D skybox. These trucks, according to the game, are stationary and only give the illusion of movement. You'll notice this if you fall onto the ground. Your body will keep moving along because of a push force on the map, but eventually it'll reach the edge of the skybox and stop moving. Also at the start of the round, a bit of a song called Convoy by Charlie Closer plays.
Eat my dust!
Lazy Town by Zeta was the first custom TF2 map made. Released around September the 22nd, 2007 during the beta. Almost 4 weeks before TF2 even came out. Being the first map made for TF2, there's quite a bit of experimental strangeness going on to it. For starters, it's a 5 CP map, but to capture the middle point you need to capture your team's second point first. And there's this weird push force thing stopping you from getting too close to the enemy spawn. Also, there's no respawn room visualizers. This was a very popular map in the early days of TF2, but it has mostly gone out of fashion. I still see some servers every now and then run more updated versions of this map, but it hasn't really stood up to the test of time. Finally, we have 2F Directional Dinosaurs A1. Possibly made by a fellow called Ace Gikmo. The only reference to an author I could find was this video of the map. TF2F, or 2 Fort 2 Furious, was an early TF2 community best known for the Team Roomba griefing videos. Meaning this map's actually pretty old and was probably one of the first King of the Hill maps. This map consists of 2 dinosaurs rotating on top of a building. One with a rocket on its back and another with a heavy weapons guy in its mouth. And yes, these are the same dinosaur models used in Anonymous's Birthday Boy video. If you get hit by them, you die. The center point has this rotating I-beam shape inside, sometimes blocking the point from capture. There's also these ramps that automatically push you if you step on them. There's also this pit of saw blades because why not? All in all, it's a small, silly but fun map. The A1 at the end of this map's title means it's an alpha version, which makes me wonder if there's any further developed versions that were never released. I mean, I don't know what you could further develop with in this map, but, you know, curiosity. Well, that was an interesting look at some smaller maps. Sometimes I wonder what these map creators are up to these days. I know Nip is still active, mostly in Counter-Strike, but what about the creator of WoW? What's he up to these days?